monster we're looking at today has horns, a slimy green frog-like skin, a freakishly massive singular eye, and braces? Mike Wazowski, born Michael Wazowski, is an unclassified monster within the Monsters, Inc., University, and Monsters at Work franchise. Mike's most defining features are his circular body/head with a big round eye in the center. His design highlights many of the characteristics that the Walt Disney Shape Language Guide would deem as friendly and approachable. Unfortunately, in a society that valorizes a monster's ability to scare, Mike's non-threatening appearance led him to be picked on a lot growing up.
Come on, guys, I want to see.
The way, Wazowski, you don't belong on a scare floor.
And Mr. Wazowski, what you lack is something that cannot be taught. You're not scary. You will not be continuing in the scaring program.
Despite all the naysayers, Mike continued to fight for his dream. This video aims to prove to the haters and non-believers like Dean Hardscrabble that the 4-foot-tall Mike Wazowski is truly a monster worth reckoning. Let's first dive into the habitat of this monster. Mike lives and works in the fictional city of Monstropolis, a bustling metropolis home to all kinds of wacky monster inhabitants. It features brick and concrete infrastructure for its large residents, different businesses including grocers, sushi restaurants, cafes, fine art galleries, and public infrastructures that we'd see in our world. Just like our petro-capitalism society, the world of Monsters, Inc. runs on scream capitalism. In their world, all energy is produced from screams, which are harvested by scarers, an elite group of talented monsters that dare to travel into the human world through magical portals, putting their lives at risk to scare the human children and collecting their scream energy. The primary company responsible for harvesting this energy is Monsters, Inc., a major employer in the city. When the film begins, Mike is working at his dream company as the ultimate coach/scare assistant for James Sullivan at Monsters Incorporated. Sully is Mike's roommate and a longtime friend who he met at Monsters University. After breaking numerous records at the Scare Games and being expelled from MU, the two found work in the mailroom at Monsters, Inc. and climbed the corporate ladder all the way to the big leagues, onto the scare floor. By the start of the film, the Mike and Sully duo have held the scare record for numerous seasons and have already become a legend, the same ones they looked up to during MU. It's safe to say here that Mike feels a strong pride and sense of purpose in his work. During Mike's first class in the scare program at Monsters University, Dean Hardscrabble makes a surprise appearance to strike fear into our cohort and has this to say about what it means to be a monster.
Scariness is the true measure of a monster. If you're not scary, what kind of a monster are you?
In his 7th thesis, Jerome Cohen highlights key traits that make monsters, well, monsters. Utilizing these ideas, we'll take a look at Mike's role in the films to judge for ourselves if Mike really can be a monster. The 3rd thesis, The Harbinger of Crisis, describes how monsters challenge existing classifications and systems of order. In the world of Monsters University and Monstropolis, where one's ability to scare is the ultimate ticket to success, Mike exists at a disadvantage, simply on the basis of his appearance, regardless of how hard he tries to be scary. Yet, Mike's unwillingness to give up despite the dominant narrative of his society allows him to keep from giving up on his dream, finding a new way to revolt against the dominant narrative of what it means to be a monster. This ultimately helps reconfigure the society of Monstropolis to utilize laughing as a more efficient and effective energy source, and systematically changes the configuration of the monster world entirely. With Thesis 4, Mike's placement within the monster society as a non-scary other allows us to see who the villains of the story really are. Corporate greed. The industry of Monsters Incorporated, which was run by executives like Water News that are worried about losing market control, were willing to co-opt narratives touting the toxicity of children and creating a whole mythical monster narrative around the children and humans, when in fact the myth they create really is just that, a myth to strike fear and other and unknown. It is Mike's presence as the other that allows Monsters Incorporated, after Waternoose' scandal comes to light, to get back on its feet by embracing an alternative energy source: laughter. Thesis 7 explores how monsters make the viewer confront our own humanity. Through Mike's story, the audience learned the value of determination, and we also learn the hard truth in life, that sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we just aren't set up to succeed in certain things, but that it's okay. Despite the differences we may project upon monsters like the slimy weird Mike, we learn pretty quickly that he really embodies the struggles of a lot of people. At his core, Mike is a hardworking average Joe. He may not have any God-given talent, and he's not blessed with the family name of the Sullivans, nor the genetics like Randall that would help him succeed, but he has an unwavering ethic to try, fail, and try again, which inspires many people, including myself. Ultimately, what makes Mike a monster can be summed up in this quote by Sully, said to Mike during a pivotal moment in both of their lives.
Mike, you're not scary. Not even a little. But you are fearless.
Mike Wazowski, despite being a small, non-threatening monster, reveals, through his determination, adaptability, and eventual success in revolutionizing Monstropolis' energy system, the deeper truths about perseverance, societal expectations, and the real villains, the corporate greed and systemic inequalities within both his world and ours. I think Mike, therefore, is a monster through and through.